What's up, you guys, and welcome to our introduction to breaking class. Today we're going to be going over a basic introduction on how to do breaking, what breaking is, and also a little bit about where breaking comes from. So to start off, breaking is a dance that takes place mainly on the floor. A lot of you might have seen it in movies, on TV, and even seen it in person. But breaking is a dance that has a rich culture, and it's a dance that you could literally almost go to anywhere in the world and find breaking, right? And it's really cool because as you get more into it, you get the opportunities to travel, to meet people, and to make a lot of friends that you probably would never have expected to meet or become friends with, just because different languages, different countries, different people that you without breaking you would never have met. Okay, so breaking started a while ago, a long time ago, actually, in the early 1970s, in the year 1973, and it started in the Bronx, New York, right? And in the Bronx, New York, in the early 70s, there was a lot of struggle that was happening, right? In the early 70s, there was a period of time where the Bronx was literally on fire, burning, day after day. And so there was a lot of people that, lost their homes, lost their, jobs, lost, a lot of things. And unfortunately, it created a time of struggle and negativity. But out of that negativity came something a little bit more positive, which was hip hop. Hip hop was born from a struggle, right? And there was a DJ by the name of Kool Herc who decided that he wanted to bring some positivity. And so he did that by throwing parties in the Bronx. He brought speakers, he brought turntables, he brought his mixer, and he would play music in the Bronx. And people from different communities and different neighborhoods would come together at these parties. And when music's playing and people are coming together, people dance, right? And at these parties, what's really cool to see is that DJ Kool Herc wasn't like your stereotypical DJ of the 70s. Most DJs at that time were playing disco music, right? So DJ Kool Herc, he liked playing what he liked listening to, right? And what he thought people liked dancing to, and that was funk and soul, right? And not only that, he liked playing the part of the song that they referred to as the break, right? The break was that point where like the drummer would go do his thing, the guitar player would do his thing, and it created like an instrumental, right? During those instrumental breaks, a lot of times you would see people dancing on the floor, like just really just bugging out and having fun, right? A lot of times dancers would go to these parties and wait for those breaks to happen so that they could, do some stuff on the floor. And it would literally, happen for maybe 10 to 20 seconds, right? So what DJ Kool Herc did is he extended the instrumental break by having two records on two different turntables. And he'd find the break and he'd play it. It lasts for 10, 15 seconds. And then he'd have it ready on this side. He'd play it again. So he'd loop that break. And he created a brand new sound of music that they eventually called hip hop. That's the birth and creation of hip hop music, right? Now, what this did to the dancers is it got them so energized that you started seeing people dancing on the floor, right? Now, a lot of the first dancers were not some like intellectual like genius that was like, I'm gonna create hip hop, right? It was created by kids and teens, right? Kids and teens dancing. And if you think about what do kids and teens do when they dance, or why do people dance? It's to have fun, right? So the main objective you guys want to get from this is that every time you break, your main objective isn't like to impress somebody. It's to have fun. It's to release all this energy pent up inside you on the floor. And I think that's the main thing for me is this dance is mainly done on the floor. And sometimes when you're dancing, you just have so much energy pent up inside, you gotta just take it out on the floor. Much like you have a younger sibling, you put on some music, they just start going crazy, rolling around on the ground, right? That's breaking. That's how breaking started back in the 70s. That's how breaking still starts today. And that's what we're gonna try to understand is that feeling that you just have so much energy inside, you just gotta take it out on the floor, all right? So to start off, we're gonna learn this thing called Toprocks. Okay, everyone, go ahead, stand up. And while we're standing up, Toprocks go like this. Put your feet about this far apart. Step your foot in front. Turn your heel. Hands go here. You're gonna bring your hands out, and you're gonna lean back. Okay. Then we're gonna go right back to where we started, just like this. Okay, let's try it on the other side. Ready? Go ahead, step out, turn your heel in, hands go out, lean back, try to look a little bit cool. Perfect, perfect, beautiful. All right, and we go here, and we go step. We go together and cross. Together, 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 cross. All right, perfect. Now there's one thing that we're missing, and that is, you might have guessed it, music. Right? Music is so important for dancing. If you don't have music, you don't have dance. Right? So a lot of the music in the early 70s and also 60s came again from funk and soul. It's just like very revolutionary, like good feeling music that just touched people's soul. And I think that's whenever we learn how to dance in breaking, a lot of times we use that type of music. Unfortunately, for this workshop, I can't play the music I want to play because YouTube, Facebook, it'll take it out. In my actual workshops, it's to private groups, so I can play whatever I want. But unfortunately for today, I'm going to be playing some other stuff. And it was actually a cool song my friend made I'm not going to get in trouble for. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to put a song on, and what we're going to practice is just clapping to the music. Okay, here we go. All right, guys. So whenever it feels right, we're going to clap. I want you to follow along. Hands out. There you go. And just listen. And clap. All right. So the big question is, why are we clapping when we're clapping? And most would just say we clap because it just feels right, right? But there's a little bit more to it. We are clapping because there is a point in this music that that kind of brings us together at that point. And there's a sound that I like to follow, especially if you're more of a technical person, called the snare. Right? The snare goes psh, 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 right, and it kind of sounds like a clap. So naturally, people clap. Move. See if you can hear it. And now it's clap. And now let's try to step on those claps, stepping back and forth. And as you get comfortable, make your steps bigger. Now no hands. And now using your hands. Boom. Nice job, nice job. All right, you guys. Now, the second thing we're going to learn is called freestyling, right? Now, freestyling is a big part of breaking. Breaking is a street dance. all street dances basically revolve around freestyling. Freestyling is essentially you just going out there and doing whatever comes to your mind, right? You are completely free, and essentially when you freestyle, you are able to express yourself through dancing, right? Being free with style, okay? So today, we're gonna learn a basic outline on how to freestyle, right? And on each following class, we're gonna learn new skills that are meant to improve your freestyle, right? So today is an introduction just to freestyling, and each class we're gonna be digging deeper and improving our skills and adding them to our freestyle, okay? So to start off, everyone draw a circle in front of you, and everybody walk on that circle. Ready, we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? The one thing we're missing is style, right? In dancing, style is everything, right? If you don't have style, you are just another dancer. You just kind of blend in with the rest, and we don't want that. We want to be able to show our personality. We want to be able to show an expression of ourselves through our dancing, right? So we are gonna walk in a circle with style, okay? Here we go. Ready? Everyone go ahead and walk in a circle. And whatever style means to you, everyone nod your head, lean side to side, right? Maybe you got a limp out of nowhere, right? Show some type of style through just walking, right? Whatever that means to you, right? If you lean to one side or something, right? If you need some inspiration, think of a happy moment. Maybe the ice cream man just pulled up. He threw a popsicle over your fence and you caught it in your hand, and now you got a popsicle and it's really hot and you've been craving this popsicle all day. All right, here we go. We're gonna practice with music, walking in a circle. Ready? Everyone walk in a circle. You're not having a good day, but then you caught the popsicle, and life's a lot better. And everyone top rock with style. Use your arms. And spin in a circle, freeze. One more time, walk in a circle. Maybe this time you got 2 popsicles. You gotta go show all your family, because you can't show your friends because you're in quarantine. And everyone top rock with style. I know the music's kind of dying, but keep it going. Spin in a circle, freeze. There we go. All right, nice job, you guys. So typically in our workshops, we're going to be learning different skills. We're going to be warming up, learning different top rock steps. And then after we do that, what we do is we proceed to working on warming up, stretching, and then we proceed to learning the skills. For today, what we want to do is we're going to kind of skip that because this is kind of an introduction lesson and it's going to be kind of like fast forwarded. So if you guys have any questions or concerns, feel free to send them in. I actually have the live link here for you guys. I'm gonna be looking at the questions. So yeah, feel free to send it in. I see a lot of you guys saying stuff, which is awesome. It's also streamed live on Facebook, I believe. So if you guys have any questions or current concerns, you know, please send it in. Okay, so we're gonna get started right now. You guys go ahead, find your spot right here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna work on what's called a get down, okay? Get down is going from standing to the floor, okay? And this is how it goes. Ready? We go cross like this. We're gonna bend our knees and we're gonna spin in a circle all the way to the floor, okay? And the way that that works is that we have to keep our knees bent. And if you notice, when we bend our knees like this, we are gonna work on just pivoting like this, okay? As we pivot, we're going to go in a complete circle, and you notice that your knees kind of start to twist up like this, okay? Again, ready? We go cross, bend your knees, spin, boom, right? You're caught in a little predicament, all right? Cross, bend your knees, and this time as we spin, bend your knees all the way till you sit down on the floor, okay? Again, ready? Smooth this time. Ready? Cross, spin, down. Perfect, perfect. Now, while we're here, we want to do this with style, right? We don't right now, we're going like this, right? This time, let's add some style to it. Ready? We go cross. This time, put your hands on your head, hips, cross your arms, whatever you want. Ready? Spin to the ground. Boom. Perfect. Now, once we get to the ground, we're going to do what's called a freeze, okay? Freeze is a complete stop. Picture like your mom wants to take a picture of you, put it in, I don't know, the refrigerator. So you got to pose, right? But you don't want to do your typical like schoolyard pose. So do something cool, right? Dress it up, right? So we're going to go ahead and put one hand down. And I want you guys to kick your legs out like this. And while your legs are out like this, I want you to dress it up, right? So you could cross your leg, you could put your other foot up, you switch your legs, you could grab your foot, you could lay down, you could be a supermodel or whatever you want to do, okay? So we're gonna spin, we're gonna go ahead and do that freeze right now, okay? Everyone put your hand down. When I say 5, 6, 7, 8, everyone do your freeze. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8, and freeze. Perfect, perfect. Now, the one thing in order to make our freeze a good freeze, it's got to be still, okay? If your freeze is not still, it is kind of an ugly freeze, right? So ready? Let's do a still freeze. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8, and freeze. All right, perfect, perfect. Now, let's do it all together. Spin down, freeze. Ready? Everyone go here, and everyone go across, and it goes 5, 6, 7, 8, go spin, down, and freeze. See, that wasn't a good freeze. All right, let's try it again. Ready? Everyone up, and go cross, spin, down, freeze. Perfect, perfect. All right, you guys. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try this with some music. We're gonna walk in a circle, we're gonna top rock, and then we are gonna hit our get down to the floor. Ready? Let's try it with music. Everyone walk in a circle. Get comfortable, breathe in some fresh air. And let's top rock. And everyone go cross, spin, down, and freeze. Let's go again. Ready? Walk in a circle. Now you mean business. Today's the day. Top rock. And everybody go cross, spin, down, freeze. Nice job, nice job. All right. Perfect, you guys. So the next thing we're gonna work on is called footwork. Footwork makes up a big part of breaking, and to me, it's one of the most important parts. One thing that distinguishes breaking from almost all other dances is we spend so much time on the floor, right? More than any other dance. A lot of dances do stuff on the floor, but we spend our entire day on the floor, right? So it's why footwork is so important, okay? So we're gonna do a quick little introduction to footwork, and then I'm gonna have you guys actually kind of try it, okay? So footwork has lots of steps, thousands of steps, thousands of techniques, right? But the essence of footwork is just moving around. If you imagine your little brother, little sister, you dancing to music, just rolling around, kicking their legs out wildly, sporadically, to me, that's footwork. That's how footwork starts. That's the basics of footwork. If you can't do that, then you can't do footwork, right? Everything else is just add-ons. You'll see some kids that learn simply technique and they get really good at the technique. But when they do footwork, it looks very like process, very robotic, right? Very like step 1, step 2, step 3, versus just sporadically, you know, breaking in its raw essence, right? So we're gonna do a quick exercise just to get us moving and get our brain kind of ticking and moving around footwork style. Okay, here we go. Everyone go ahead and find a spot. Make sure you got a little bit of space. One hand up, bend your knees down, put it on the floor. And ready? When I say 5, 6, 7, 8, just run in a circle around your hand. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8, and run in a circle. And now everyone run backwards. Ready? And run backwards. Perfect. And everyone go ahead and put one hand down. And everybody go kick. And everyone switch your hands. And everybody go kick. And everybody reach your hand this way and go spin. And reach your hand this way and go spin. Perfect, you guys. So that right there, that is footwork. Kicking, spinning, jumping, rolling around, right? We have to master simply just that. So I'm gonna put on some music right now, and I'm gonna give you guys an example of what footwork looks like, and then you guys are gonna practice it yourself. Okay, here we go. Practicing footwork. This is just an example. Here we go. All right, you guys, now it's your turn. I know a lot of you are worried about, oh, I can't do it like that. Don't worry. Okay, everyone go ahead, put your hand on the floor. And when the music comes on, I want you to just move. Explore movement from that position. Doesn't have to be perfect. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8, and move. Keep it going, 30 seconds. Whatever comes to your mind. Even if you're just rolling around. Woo! Nice job, you guys. Everyone catch your breath, breathe in, and breathe out. All right, guys, we're almost there, right? We got the bulk of this. We just kind of got to put it all together now, okay? So everyone go ahead, stand up. Dust yourself off. I know you guys are all dusty at this point. Your parents can be so happy that the floor is all clean because you mopped it up with your body. But now we're going to put it all together, okay? So to give ourselves a basic structure, everyone say, walk in a circle. Walk in a circle. And when you come around, top rock. Again, play around with your steps. I know we only know one step at this point. Make sure your shoes are tied, unlike mine are. And everybody go cross, spin down, and freeze. And once we get to this point, footwork. Ready? Everyone do some footwork. Again, run in circles, run backwards. Kick your legs out, roll around, whatever you guys want to do. And when you're done, again, make sure your shoes are tied for safety reasons. Stand up, spin around, dust yourself off, and we got to do what's called a freeze. Okay? A freeze is like the punctuation in your sentence, right? And more importantly, it's like the period at the end of the sentence or an exclamation point. Right? If you don't do a freeze, your sentence is incomplete. Right? If I just do my footwork and then I run away, everybody's gonna be real confused, right? So you gotta do a freeze at the end, okay? So everybody put your legs out and go zip, And when you go zip, your arms are going to do some type of freeze. Cross your arms, hands on your head, hands out, hands on your knee. Do something crazy, whatever you want to do, right? But make it a still, solid freeze. Let's practice it. Ready? Legs out, and everyone go zip. Beautiful. All right, that's what we're going to do. We're going to do run with music. Just kind of see how we feel, okay? Again, I'm not expecting anyone to be a professional, but I do expect you to enjoy yourself, okay? Here we go. From the top. Everyone walk in a circle. And again, top rock. Get comfortable. And footwork. Oh, I forgot to get down. Everybody go. Cross. Spin. Down. Freeze. Footwork. Freeze. One more time. Walk in the circle. Top rock. Keep it chill. And everyone go cross, spin to the floor. Freeze. Footwork. Run in circles. Backwards. Cross your legs. Spin around and freeze. Nice job. Woo. Everyone take a deep breath in. Breathe out. That, my friends, is breaking. From top to ground, back to the top. Again, there's lots of details to it. There's lots of things that we will learn, but that's the basics, okay? I hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and I hope you guys learned something. I'm doing a weekly beginner breaking class every Tuesday at 4 p.m. You guys are all welcome to join. Class is $35 per month. I also have an intermediate class at 5 p.m. every Tuesday, Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you guys are interested, if you want to try to do a little bit, harder things, harder skills, challenge yourself. And for $5 more, you could also take my monthly master class, which is 2 hours. We'll be learning harder stuff, right? We work on windmills, flares, swipes. This month, we're going to be working on some more like advanced back rocks and different movements that take place on our back and our stomachs. But it's a lot of fun stuff. So if you guys are interested in joining, make sure you guys click on my Patreon link, hop in my Patreon. We do these every single week. There's a lot of kids in here. I think we got about 20 kids right now, and hoping to grow this to a much bigger class over the next month. Those of you who know me, my sole purpose is working in the community with kids, mentoring kids, helping them out. And unfortunately right now, because of the times, this is pretty much going to be my main job. My main focus is going to be on you guys, right? So if you guys can, please spread the word. If you're not interested, maybe you have a friend that might be, so please share my links with them. I really appreciate it. For this last couple minutes, I'm going to open this up to some discussion. So if you guys have any questions or concerns about anything, I'm going to go ahead and check out my things right here just to see if anyone has any questions. A lot of people are asking random stuff, which is cool. But I appreciate you guys. I think some people said they missed a bit. So again, if you guys do join my Patreon or you do hop into my Get Vocal, you can watch this at any time, right? So all the live workshops are saved, and you could rewatch them as many times as you want. So say I web. So if you guys have any issues with that, just please let me know, and I'll do my best to resolve it. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna go through. We have a number of questions. Let me see. Someone says, why do you crash so much? You know, crashing is a big part of learning. You know, I think I learned from crashing, right? If you guys don't know what crashing is when you fall, right? So when I was younger, we didn't have a mentor. We didn't have someone that could teach us how to break. So we taught ourselves, right? And the way we learned was literally by making mistakes. Nowadays, there's resources like this. There's resources online, on YouTube. There's people that can actually teach you directly. But when I was younger, we learned from falling, right? Lots and lots of falling. So it might be why I have so many little injuries everywhere. But that's how we learn. And it actually allowed us to do some pretty creative and fun stuff and really kind of like think outside of our box. A lot of times, like, us learning was from like a memory of something we saw. Now you could kind of see anything at your fingertips on YouTube, but back then we had to use our imagination, right? Anyone else got any questions, concerns about anything? I'm gonna have this live for just a little bit more. Again, if you guys are interested in learning, make sure you go to www.patreon.com/VincaniTV. Sign up for my beginner course or my intermediate course, whichever one you think you fit more. If you have never danced before or you just started, I highly recommend my beginner breaking class. That gives you a really solid background on everything, right? If you've been dancing for a while, you understand dancing, you can always hop in my intermediate class where we learn more difficult skills. But the beginner course is really like, if you get through the beginner course, by the end of that, you will look legit, right? If you start with the intermediate class because you think it's too easy, honestly, like, there's so many things you work on in the beginner class that will help you so much that, you know, honestly, you don't get from just learning different skills, right? In the intermediate class, we kind of focus on learning different skills each week, versus in the beginner class, we really like focus on building you as a dancer, okay? I'm just looking through this. I'm just seeing if anyone else has any other issues. The other thing I wanted to mention, if you guys do hop in the course, it's $35 each month for the beginner and the intermediate class, each one. And you could switch through if you decide you take a month of the beginner class, you don't like it, you can move to the intermediate one. And for $5 more, so $40 total, you could take my my master class, which is where we practice more difficult skills. It's like a 1 to 2 hour workshop. At the end of every month, we work on different things like power moves and flows and more advanced concepts. So in the past, we've done flares, we've done windmills, we've done swipes. This past week we did swipes, which is a really cool workshop. There's a couple kids that got pretty close. It is a move that takes some work, but they got pretty close. And this month we're going to be learning some more advanced back rocks. Okay. So I'm just going to go through the comments real quick. Anyone else has any other questions about anything, I'm happy to address it for you guys. Shout out to everybody that showed up. I apologize if there was some issues with the live stream earlier. So shout out to all you guys that popped in. Let me see. So all the beginner classes, intermediate and advanced. Yes. So someone asked if it's all 35. So the beginning class is $35. The intermediate class is $35. You can switch between them, whichever. Whenever you like, it won't charge you any extra because it's the same price. But again, I highly recommend starting with the beginner course. And for $5 more, you do get to do the workshop, the master class every single month. I would like to know more about tricking. Unfortunately, this is not a tricking course. Tricking is like martial arts tricking. I actually started by learning from martial arts a long time ago. Imitating like martial art movies. So I do know a little bit, but that's not my specialty. So we won't focus our course on tricking. We might learn some tricks with dancing, but not necessarily tricking as in flips, right? Someone says, when Rocky 15. What's up, man? Or girl, I'm not sure. Rocky 15. When do you consider yourself ready for learning moves like flares, right? So flares, I would consider definitely a more advanced move. It took me like 5 years to learn. I did it right off the bat. It took me a really long time. But if you want to try them, when you feel like you have enough strength, you could do a really strong handstand. Some of the footwork steps are getting real easy for you. You know, I would just highly recommend just trying it, right? Seeing if you feel like you're ready, right? And if you don't, you know, you could always just come back to it another time, right? For me, even like look at like this past year, I've been working on air flares, right? I never, even as a kid, I never like felt ready to do air flares, and now I'm like, I've been dancing 20 years, and now I'm finally trying air flares, and it's like a struggle, right, to learn. So it's never too late to learn, and it's never too early to learn, right? So I would recommend just trying it, and if it's too hard, you know, just put it on the back burner for a little bit, and when you feel ready, then you hop in. Okay, but I definitely, if you take my class, all my master classes, we will start from the very beginning and work our way up. I do not, the way I teach, I do not just throw skills out there and expect you to learn it. I always try to like build you from the beginning to make sure there's, you know, a complete understanding. Okay, let's see. Thank you for the kick up tutorial. Thanks, yo. Crimson Blood Tours, I appreciate you. Make sure you get that kick up. The kick ups I think are a really fun move. Some people learn it instantly. Some people take a little bit of time, but it's a really fun move. Number of people are asking. Oh, David Vid says, what's the best exercise for beginners to get stronger in their footwork? Best exercise, honestly, to get better at footwork, is just to do footwork, right? Footwork is like, it's like running, right? So how could you get better at running? You just got to practice running, right? So it's a lot of like, there's a lot of techniques. So the best way to get better at footwork is just doing your footwork, right? Practicing techniques, drilling it over and over, like do like 106 steps, 206 steps, right? So it takes time. Anyways, thank you guys for all tuning in. Thanks you guys for all watching. I apologize, there were some issues with the live stream earlier, again, if you guys are interested in taking my weekly beginner class, my weekly intermediate class, or my monthly master class, or both of them, make sure you guys hop into my Patreon link below. I appreciate you guys being here. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.